Welcome back to the Football Terrace. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you're hitting that like button, subscribe to the Football Terrace, and turn on the bell notification button. Yesterday, Thomas Tuchel and Chelsea ended Manchester City's chances of a famous treble or a record-breaking quad. The resurgence under Thomas Tuchel, the growth and development of Chelsea Football Club has been absolutely phenomenal. 14 clean sheets in 19 games, a Champions League semi-final, an FA Cup final, and almost a dead certainty to make it into the top 4 after what was a very troublesome start to the campaign under Frank Lampard. A lot is made of the way Thomas Tuchel moves the ball, the way his team set up, their shapes, their patterns. The fluidity is there to see. The attacking element is very much famed. But it's the defensive solidity, the strength from the back that Chelsea have that have made them a powerhouse in the Premier League in Europe once more. We're going to take a look at how Chelsea ended the quad, but what makes them favourites to lift multiple trophies this year. This happened numerous times in the game yesterday, but I want to focus as we get towards the end of the game because it's of the most importance. In the latter stages of matches, lactic acid is kicking in, players are tired, it's harder to concentrate. This tends to be when the better teams flourish. Man United, Man City, Liverpool, whenever these teams have been at the peak of their powers, late goals are a prerequisite. And this happens because you wear teams down. Chelsea's defensive shape has been praised under Thomas Tuchel, but continually people saying, how is it going to stand up against a genuine class team? The acid test. Manchester City, it's the first time they faced Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea team yesterday, and they stood up magnificently. We're here in the 72nd minute here. You see Phil Foden's got the ball over here on the left-hand side. There's runs being made centrally. There's options behind him. There's options centrally with Gundogan. But look at that defensive line of Chelsea. There's pressure now being put on the ball on Phil Foden. Azpilicueta is going with the runner. And then you have a very good line from Reece James, who's currently actually in the left-back position. Thiago Silva and Rudiger. There's also very little space between the defensive line of 5 and Kante and Jorginho, who are playing in the twin sixes. They try to recycle the ball. Again, the press. You've got Timo Werner helping out 72 minutes in, working hard for his team. Kante putting that pressure on the ball. Ball's forced out wide to Mendy. The cross comes in, and that is cut out by Cesar Azpilicueta. The shape is important here, as you can see as this ball's cleared. The back line is flat. The twin sixes are in very good defensive positions. Timo Werner is there to help out. But the epitome of this move was the fact that everybody was working for each other. You have the fullbacks that have switched sides, probably because of a corner that they've just defended. You've got Timo Werner, their attacker, the creator of their opening goal, that's now back helping to defend. The work rate of this team is testament to the quality of manager that Tuchel is and the ideas that he has enabled these players to buy into. If we look here at Chelsea as a defensive unit, you've got the 3 centre-backs that we mentioned earlier here. 2 sitting back, keeping their line, looking after the 2 City forwards. And Cesar Azpilicueta here has pushed up and put pressure on the ball. You have Reece James covering the fullback Mendy. You have Ben Chilwell on the opposite side that's taking care of Raheem Sterling. And then you have the twin sixes always in their central position here, with the front 2 men pushing and pressing. You see this on a very regular occurrence with Chelsea. Some people are going to refer to this as parking the bus. They're going to try to be overtly negative about the way Chelsea play. But this isn't negative. This is working hard for your teammates. This is ensuring that even when you're up against one of the best teams in England, where it'd be very easy to maybe be a little bit lazy, a little bit lackluster, and then put down conceding a goal to the fact that you're playing against class opposition. But it's the work rate to keep in this defensive shape to allow very limited opportunities and space in between the lines and in the half spaces. The play moves forward here. It's a very slight press. City tries to move it forward. There is a run. And I want to stop there because runs are killers in football. There is no doubt about it. Runners are a defender's worst nightmare. So not only do you need to keep your shape, you need to be ready and alert when a ball is played. And if you are in position and you have worked hard to be there, this gives you every single opportunity to make that cut. Ball comes over, Ben Chilwell clears it. If Ben Chilwell's not in that position, Raheem Sterling is through on goal. He controls that ball, and that could be the equaliser that Man City are looking for. We move forward into the 81st minute, and look at that press. You'll see this triangle here. These three individuals, Kai Havertz, Jorginho and Emerson, are going to put a lot of pressure on the ball. 9 minutes away from victory and an FA Cup final is no time to rest on your laurels. And Thomas Tuchel's men have an interesting relationship with the press. There are times when they'll enable their team to pass and move the ball. Yesterday, they allowed on average 30 passes per defensive action. But where Chelsea are very clever is when the ball gets moved into a dangerous area, they press with precision and speed. So what actually happened in reality yesterday is they may have allowed Manchester City to have passed the ball more per defensive action, but they nullified the amount of shots. On average, Manchester City have 38 positional attacks per game, 25% of which result in a shot. Against Chelsea yesterday, they only managed 32 positional attacks and just 6% resulted with a shot on goal. This is a very clever and smart relationship that Chelsea have with the press. And you'll see here as the play moves on, everybody's in the right position. Everybody's where they need to be. Emerson's put pressure on the ball. Jorginho's covering his man in the middle. And Kai Havertz is ready to pounce if a ball is played back inside to Gundogan. The ball's played, and as you can see, Kai Havertz moves in to intercept that play. Now that's Kai Havertz who came on in a kind of striker false nine position late on in the game to see it through for Chelsea. And again, he's not sulking. He's coming on and putting a shift in for Thomas Tuchel and Chelsea, and that should stand out as being an excellent decision from Tuchel as the reason that he was picked over other players. This here is just the epitome of Chelsea at this moment in time. An excellent defensive line. Yes, in the snapshot you'll see Aspie slightly out of position. That's because he put the press on at the right moment when there was an opportunity for Man City to break the lines. He nullified that threat and is now getting himself back into position. You can see Jorginho and Kante getting themselves ready to move into defensive positions. You've got Emerson that is sizing up the opportunity here. He's not going to put too much pressure on the ball because he may be circumvented, but he's going to nullify the options. There's no direct pass from here and in this position to open up Chelsea and give Manchester City an opportunity because the defensive shape is good. There's very little space again in between the lines. And this area being covered here by Emerson is so important because this is the area that's stopping passes being made through. What Fernandinho wants is for Chelsea to become a bit lazy and a bit complacent and for their shape to fall apart, because then there's options to pass the ball through the lines for runs being made by Raheem Sterling and by Phil Foden. Fernandinho wants to play a splitting pass such as this, but that's now nullified by the position of Emerson and the shape of Chelsea. All that's required to stop Manchester City from this point of view is everybody staying in position until the right opportunity, until the right moment to press the ball or make a challenge. You don't need to run around like a headless chicken for 45 minutes at a time trying to win the ball back always. You can have moments where you just stay in shape and you make your opponents make the first move. This is something that Thomas Tuchel has instilled magnificently. Yes, an excellent goal yesterday from Ziyech, set up by Timo Werner to give them the victory. But without this wonderful defensive shape, without this cohesive approach, without every single player from the goalkeeper right through to the strikers defending as a unit, this Chelsea team would not have achieved the success so far they have under Thomas Tuchel. It's brilliant to see. It's real football. It's genius football. And how far do you think Thomas Tuchel and Chelsea can go with it? Hit that like button, hit the share button, and we'll see you all again very, very soon.